Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. And this is some information that I believe everyone should hear and do with this information as you will. But if you know my background, I used to work for Bear Stearns and another Fortune 100 corporation, and I truly believe that the U.S. government, the central banks, Wall Street pick winners and losers to the best of their ability. And they're definitely in the process of doing that in crypto. And that's what this video is all about. Because I've been putting the pieces of the puzzle together because everyone right now has started to move around the crypto uh, arena enough so that you can actually see where they're trying to get to. And, before we just kind of knew that this was coming. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, the battle lines have drawn all around the world throughout crypto. Whether we're talking about the future of crypto as China and Russia see it, or as Europe sees it, or as the World Economic Forum wants it, or the U.S. government, or Wall Street, or the Bitcoiners, whatever, everyone right now have drawn lines in the sand and they're trying to push their agenda forward for the future of crypto, Web3, digital assets, etc. And what I'm going to walk you through is what I see happening right now with Circle and Wall Street. How do you control something? You control it with the money. Now, I'm not going to dive into what's going on right now, but with the stable coins and the battle like Binance has with its stablecoin compared to the others, and especially Circle. But uh, I believe it's going to come down to those two, and that the Fed and the U.S. government is going to directly or indirectly back Circle. Everything is starting to line up. So just hear me out, and I think it'll make sense. But to prove the point roughly of what I've already seen, that those three entities pick the winners and losers, the first thing that I recognized when I got into crypto was that LBRY got charged by the SEC. Well, I love that crypto because what they did, it's a decentralized YouTube basically. Well, that's not going to happen. Uber came for YouTube by the form of blockchain and they got halted dead in their tracks. The SEC charged them almost 3 years ago and they're just still fighting it out. Now, what's the next big thing? We know what's happening with Ripple. Ripple's not in court because of what they've done in the past. They're in court because they were doing to the banks, the legacy banking system, what Uber did to the cab companies. And that wasn't going to happen. It never had a chance. And that's what this court case is all about. Don't kid yourself. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't believe this court case is going to be over until their agenda has been met. And the banks and Wall Street and the U.S. government don't have everything in place yet. So this lawsuit's going to drag on. And that's one thing I 100% hope that I'm wrong. Now, let's dive in. How is Wall Street going to try to control crypto? Well, if you want to control something, you need to control the money. And that's everything in life, guys. Well, see the guy on the screen? That's Jeremy Allaire, and he is the co-founder, CEO, and chairman of the board of Circle. Now, he's obviously part of the good old boys club. Let's think about what he's putting together to make this control happen. And if I'm right about my philosophy, this is just in line. It's like reading a book to me. Now, okay, the first thing he did, he started a consortium with Coinbase. and he aligned himself with the most powerful entities on the planet, guys. He's got huge uh, money coming in from Blackrock, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Visa, MasterCard, Coinbase, FTX. Guys, he spoke at the World Economic Forum. The IMF is in on it. Guys, he is aligned with all the world powers and the world leaders that are trying to push their agenda, and they're doing it through Central. Now, so they have looks like they have the Fed in their pocket, looks like they have Wall Street in their pocket. They're aligning themselves with the banks because, follow me and I'll make all this make sense. They have created Verity, right? Now, Verity, and I believe I'm pronouncing that right, Verity is basically a DeFi wallet, security, KYC, everything combined. And basically, they're trying to make that the standard, right, guys? Just like everything, for the most part, needs to be EVM compatible. Well, that's what they're going to try to do. So they're pushing that agenda forward. And I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the new standard, whatever that looks like. And I quite frankly, whether it's Circle or anyone else, I'll be glad when the average person walking down the street can use a wallet as simple as anything else, because I think that is holding crypto back for adoption, because it's just too difficult to learn how to download an app and put stuff in your wallet and move around and pair your tokens and all that stuff. Anyway, but here's one thing that really triggers me, and I hate to see it, and I hope they don't pull this part off. But I think they will, guys, and I hope I'm wrong. It says access to permission pools or securities trading based on accredited investor status or any specified attribute. Guys, they don't want ICOs for us. They don't want us to be able to stake and do DeFi and farming. They don't want the average guy to take $10,000 and compete against Goldman Sachs or Bank of America. See, what they want, and I know this to be true, they want control of everything. What they want to do, and they're going to get control, I have no doubt, that for the average citizen, the sheep of the world that are just followers, that have no interest of learning anything to do with money or how to use DeFi, I fast forward, say 3 years from now, I think the banks will be offering maybe 10, 12, 15% interest, and that will freak people out and they will love it. But what are they going to do? They're going to take your money, just like back in the old days and today, and then they're going to go do DeFi and staking and all that. They'll be making 30, 40, 50, who knows how much on your money, but the sheep, the average person, will be happy. And I'm okay with that as long as they don't make me a sheep, because I want and should be able to do DeFi just like the average person. And being an accredited investor is going to harm the average person around the world, and I hope they're wrong about that. Now, what's the other thing? All right, they've aligned themselves with the world leaders. They've changed what they use the stablecoin to have back it, right? So now Circle has raised an immense amount of money, up there with any token that has raised money. Circle's up there in the top ones. Now they are basically backed. Circle is backed by roughly 80% U.S. bonds and 20% U.S. dollar. Now they just did the announcement a couple of weeks ago about where they are going to partner with the Bank of New York Mellon, which is one of the oldest banks in America, right? Now, let's think about this, guys. Their money, what is it, like 40 billion or something like that? I don't know what the number is, but they're going to have to park that money. Well, when you buy bonds and you have that much cash, yes, it's going to go in and out with cash flow as needed, but it's going to go from the Bank of New York, right, Mellon, back and forth to the Fed. Now, let's think about that. That means and I'm generalizing, but basically that means that the Fed has control of that stablecoin's assets, right? It also means that that stablecoin is going to be FDIC insured. Now, it also means that if we have a crash in the future, it will be easy to justify the Fed bailing out not crypto, not the stablecoin, but bailing out the Bank of New York Mellon, right? Which is indirectly going to bail out the Circle stablecoin. You see how that works, guys? So who you bailing out? You're bailing out Blackrock. You're bailing out, MasterCard, Visa, JP Morgan. That's how it works, guys. This makes so much sense. Now, if you look at it the way I look at it, it basically means that Circle has set up a synthetic digital currency. Now, if that's right, and I'm right, that means that it's basically a de facto digital dollar. So let's analyze that. That means that all the things that we know the Fed and the U.S. government has been talking about that they want, but we don't have the regulations, we don't know if it's legal. They're skirting around the edges so that pretty much they already have what they need, whether it's legal, not legal, unconstitutional, or not, or just flat out wrong. They've already got it in play. Now, they may add to it with a CBDC or an absolute digital dollar, but either way, it's a win for them. The Fed got exactly what they want, and so has the U.S. government. Now, they may want more, but guys, they've already got that in play as far as I'm concerned. Now, when you add a little bit of regulation, or maybe go back to set the standard, what we talked about with Verity, and then add some regulation, the U.S. government has got exactly what they want. They've got control. It's legal. They're done. They're good to go. And Wall Street, right? Wall Street, the central banks, and U.S. government have control of the cash flow of crypto. Now, I'm not even going to get into, because this video is getting too long, I'm not going to get into the fact that during times of when the Fed starts to cut that money printer on, how they can flush the crypto market. And that part excites me because we'll know when that is, and we're going to be positioned along for the ride unless they come up with some bizarre, a way that we can't participate. But when they cut on that money printer, it's going to be just like what Wall Street did. They're going to start buying back their crypto tokens and their crypto projects, right? They're just going to flush crypto with money through the printing press of the Fed. I love it, guys. If that part comes through in the future as far as the money printer, I don't like CDBCs. I don't like a digital dollar. I hope that if they implement whatever they do, that it doesn't come with the U.S. government or the Fed or the IRS or anyone having access to our accounts. But here's the downside. This is the most negative thing in this entire video. When I talk about a win-win for the Fed and the government getting what they want indirectly, no matter what, guess what they can do, unfortunately, if Circle pulls this off. They can freeze any account, anytime, anywhere. They have 100% control, guys. So every time you park your money in a stablecoin, which may be regulated that we have to use that one, right? Or whatever. That's what the future looks like, guys. Now, I don't know how much of that is going to pan out, but if you look at it like I do, that means they are going to be in control of DeFi. They'll start onboarding you, right? They'll put you into the Verity. They'll have that for DeFi. They'll have who you are. They'll have all that. Anyway, guys, now what else can I tell you? I've kind of narrowed it down to 3 different blockchains that this may set on. Actually, maybe a 4th. One, they may go ahead and create another one that is freestanding, totally just a government blockchain. I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think they have the time, money, or they have the money, but the time or the effort or the talent to do it. There's no reason to do it. Now, everything from Wall Street, for the most part, gets pushed on to Ethereum. We know that, so that's in the running. However, there's a strong case that Algorand is going to be positioned to have it sit on top of it, because there's a big connection from the Fed and Circle. And I'm going to get into that in my next video sometime this week. So look out for that video, because I'm going to give you the reason Algorand may be the front runner to basically partner up with the Fed if all this happens. So you'll have the Fed and Circle sitting on top of Algorand. I hope that's right. That's a win for us. We can front run that. Now, the other one is Link, L-I-I-N-K. And unfortunately, that's in the running, and I hope that's wrong, but that's basically JP Morgan's private blockchain that they use just between like the banks and the big brokerage houses. So that I hope doesn't happen. But I don't know, guys. We got a big fight all over crypto for everything, but this is information you need to know, guys. You can't convince me any other way. Follow the smart money, guys, because no matter what, when Wall Street and the hedge funds and the banks decide to put their money behind a project, whether it's the best project or not, it's going to happen. And they all tend to run together. They know that when they deploy $50 million into a project, it doesn't have to be the best project, but if they do it, the other hedge funds, the other whales, the other power entities around the world, the governments will start to park their money in the same place. That's why you have to follow it, because the only tokens that the retail public for the most part is going to move, especially as crypto grows, will be something like Shiba. Outside of that, the retail public, guys, we're not going to put a dent in the volume of crypto in the very near future. In the next bull run, the retail public does matter. Don't get me wrong. But mainly the reason it matters is so the big boys can dump on us. And that's a whole different story. We will be getting into charting and how the smart money thinks when it comes to investing and pushing the crypto community around, or the stock community around, or any other community around. And that's something I look forward to sharing with you guys too, because I've sat in a room with over 500 traders at one time. I got to go to the commodity exchange in Chicago back in the day when you could walk out on the floor and it was chaotic. It was amazing. But you learn how the big guys, just bulldoze everyone. And that's why, like, 10 to 15% of most traders make all the money. That means 85% of the average person that trades anything is going to lose, because they don't follow the smart money. They don't understand how they think. They talk to each other. Guys, the way me and you think is not a winning way. You got to think how the smart money thinks. And that's what I want to help you guys with. That's what I do. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on a rant, but I needed to get this out. Hopefully that made sense and I put those pieces together. that made sense to you. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Go ahead and hit that notification so you don't miss anything. And either way, guys, seriously, let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I on the right track? Is there something I missed? Because I'm not here to be right. I'm here to be correct in my thinking so I know how to build my portfolio and stack my bags. Now, if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead. It really helps us out a lot. We do appreciate it. Now, none of this is financial advice, but guys, once you figure out what token that you want to be invested in, get to stacking. Take care, guys.